get you on that climbing frame, Ollie.
Well, that looks fun, that.
That does look fun, doesn't it? Right, hello everybody, welcome to Snetterton. It is of course the BRSCC Fiesta Junior Championship. We've got 2 races coming up for you this afternoon, but before we do that, we bumped into a former champion, a Fiesta Junior absolute weapon. It is Olly Turner. Olly, it's great to see you, buddy. You're doing a bit of driver coaching here, aren't you?
Yeah, just a bit. Yeah, not working in the car or anything, just helping on the laptop and just helping the Jake Triggs,
Yep.
Albert Webster and Alex Brain this weekend. So yeah, good fun. Nice to be back in the paddock, and
Yep.
obviously nice to see yourself as well. So
Oh, yeah, that's touched by that. Now, Ollie, look, we had to get you down here because, as I said before, a former Fiesta Junior champion. You certainly know your way around a racetrack, don't you? Snetterton, okay? It's the 300 circuits. There's a few technical bits and bobs. We want to get your expertise. Now, obviously, this is where we start the race on the centre straight. The first corner, we come down into Riches. It's fast-paced, though, isn't it? What sort of speed are the guys carrying around there?
yeah, you'll be carrying about 85, 86, anything upwards from that really. That's the speed you'll be carrying, but it's all about carrying momentum through the corner.
Yeah.
Due to the restrictor plate they put in this year, it really puts a strain on the engine, so you've got to make sure you get that corner right, make sure you don't touch the curb too much, make sure you get a good run up to the hairpin for the second corner. So.
What do you prefer for a first corner? Because I think Riches, it's a bit like, well, it's a bit like Silverstone, isn't it? Fast-flowing, first corners. Do you prefer them to be a bit tighter, you know, like the Nürburgring, the GP circuit, very tight, and you can kind of maybe test the brakes a little bit? What do you prefer?
I think for junior racing, I think a faster corner might be better, just because you imagine 15 youngsters bunching up into a hairpin, it might get a bit spicy. So I think for now, I think for this weekend, I think that corner will be all right, to be fair. So.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Certainly, in fact, we don't see a lot happening down there, do we really? It's pretty clean. We come down, we go to Montreal. Now, that's probably the tightest corner actually on the circuit, isn't it, along with Agostini?
Yeah.
What are we doing down there? I mean, what do we drop down to third gear, second gear? What are you guys doing around there?
On the approach to this corner, you got the 2 and the 1 board. Ideally, you'd want to be braking on that number 1 board.
Yep.
So nice, sharp brake pressure. So nice, steep braking line on the data, you want to see that, and then due to that late braking, it'll push you a bit wider.
Yeah.
And due to that momentum you're carrying into the corner, it pushes you wide, gives you a nice wide line, so you can tuck back into the later apex on the corner and get a good exit. And then obviously got to watch out for track limits on the exit, so then pop up to third, and then off you go to the third corner.
And talking of the third corner, we'll come around to Palmer, of course. I mean, there is a straight, but I imagine that's just about getting yourself over to the other side of the track to hit the apex at Palmer. A fairly standard Palmer, quite easy to come round.
Yeah, I mean, in these cars, it's mostly flat sometimes with a lift, depending on what kind of run you get out of the hairpin. But yeah, we seem to be getting a nice flat chap round that corner, really. So
yeah.
Not much going on.
Not much going on. But what there is a lot going on is Agostini, of course. You've got the straight, you're carrying a bit of speed in. We do see the brakes getting a bit lit up here, don't we?
Definitely. I mean, this part of the track is the most, I say, it's one of the more complicated bits.
Yeah.
You've got obviously Agostini, that's quite a tight hairpin. So same again, you'll be braking at the number 1 board, and then that momentum you're carrying on the brakes, it'll push you a bit wider, so you get a nice late apex again. A bit like the second corner, like the first hairpin, just wider line in, get a nice late apex, and then drive the car out the corner.
You come out, you've got Hamilton flat. Is Hamilton flat?
Yeah, that'll be flat.
So that's nice and easy. Then Oggies, of course. Now we do see quite a people, you know, sometimes getting a bit out of shape round Oggies. How would you take it?
Can't really say. It's I don't want to get myself in trouble, but the appropriate way of doing it is avoid track limits and obviously just use the curb as you would. But as
I'm not a racing driver, I'll say this: you absolutely use the curb like crazy, and you just push those track limits right to the edge. Is that?
That is true, but not going to dig myself a hole. So
no, absolutely not. Olly Turner never does that. He always does it the right way. We come down Williams again, another fairly straightforward corner. I imagine almost flat is Williams on to the Bentley Straight, of course. But then we've got this little section up here, Brundle and Nelson. Now, I've spoken to a lot of drivers. This is their favourite section of the track. What is it like going through there?
But yeah. Prior to that corner, you just got to make sure you get a really good exit onto the corner. Jake, Albert and Alex all been struggling with a bit of power this weekend. It's a very power dominant circuit, but yeah, on the lead up to there, you want to be making sure you get a good exit out of there, so you're prepared for Brundles Nelson.
Yeah.
Forget the name of the corner.
That's why we're here, so we can actually see the names.
It's true, yeah. But yeah, it's all about taking commitment. I'd say you got to take a lot of momentum through the corner, and you got to make sure you turn nice, fairly late. So I normally say there's like a board or like a little bit of a shadow. You start to approach the turning, once you get to like the darker patch where the bridge kind of like is, and then yeah, just completely like jump over the curb, keep the revs up, and once you get to Nelson, you want to hug the white line, so parallel to the white line.
Yep.
And then you want to tuck the car in and then get a nice exit towards the bomb hole.
It's actually also, anybody's coming down to Snetterton, it's a great place to watch the action up there as well. I do recommend spending a bit of time up there. Then you come around the bomb hole, of course. I mean, it's got a cracking name, hasn't it? But it's not the hardest of corners, is it?
Yeah, it's just easy flat. Easy flat.
And then, of course, Coram, we're coming around that long right-hander. We've seen a few people getting quite close up. They get nicely tucked in behind, ready to make a move at Murray's.
Yeah, I mean, this one's probably the most technical, I think, as well as Nelson and Brundle's. That's, yeah, the same as Nelson and Brundle's. It's a third gear corner, but you want to make sure you're not hugging the white line all the way around the corner. So you make sure you give yourself a nice opening to the last corner Murray's. So you'll be coming through the corner, just away from the white line, and then gradually building the brake pressure on, down to third gear, keeping parallel to the white line, and then you want to be powering just before you make to the apex for Murray's, and then you've got yourself a nice exit.
And it'll get that power on, get that speed on, momentum. But there is a curve, there's a corner that comes out here, doesn't it, actually? And again, you just slightly take advantage of that, don't you, just to kick on a little bit?
Sometimes.
Not always. Ollie, look, thanks so much for that wonderful insight. I know you've got a lot to do. Race one coming up. It's going to be a cracker, isn't it? In fact, it's a busy weekend, double header, isn't it? I'm going to let you go, but thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. 2019 Fiesta Junior champion Olly Turner there. Now, we've just been spoken about it. We've actually got a little video to show you. We can show you a lap behind the driver's eye, actually, of Snetterton. Now, I must tell you, this video is about 5 or 6 or 7 years old or so, but it's still relevant. It's still the same circuit. So here's a little look at a lap of Snetterton, the 300 circuit with a driver's eye in a Fiesta Junior car. Roll VT. you go, fantastic stuff. That is a lap of Snetterton, the 300 circuit, from behind the wheel of a Fiesta Junior car. How good was it to hear from the 2019 champion, Olly Turner, as well. Right, we're going to head off very shortly because race 1 is coming up. I think it gets underway, is it, about 1:25. Let's just show you the timetable for today. Remember, it's changed ever so slightly. Things have been brought forward a little bit. So let's just pop that timetable up onto the screen for you so you can see. Race 1 after 1 o'clock. And then race 2 today gets underway at 3 o'clock. So quite an early finish actually for the Fiesta Juniors, as you can see. Of course, we're back live tomorrow for all of the action too, even more live behind the scenes content. We take you closer than anybody else can bring you. Let's pop that image down. So we're going to be back live in the assembly area for race 1. Then you can watch the on-track action over at the BRSCC Facebook and YouTube channels. But come back to us at My Supercar as the checkered flag falls, because we are going to be up at Parc Ferme. We're going to speak to the drivers live for immediate race reaction. We'll see you very soon.